What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to our YouTube channel. My name is David Fritz, and in this video I'm going to share with you 4 different saturation tools I used for my bass channel in my tech house track. I went from free saturation tools until paid plugins like the Decapitator. I tested exactly what is the best plugin. Do you actually have to pay $160 for an expensive plugin, or can you also find really cheap versions online? So the free plugins I used was the saturation knob from Softube, then I used the R-Bass, the stereo R-Bass, then I used the Decapitator where I paid money for, and also I used the KHS Distortion. We're going to test all those saturation tools in FL Studio. Make sure before I start the tutorial to like this video, subscribe to my channel to not miss on any tech house production tutorial, and also check out the link in the description because my music is there. You can go on my Spotify, you can check out the music I released there. I'm really excited. I have a few more tracks coming in the next couple of weeks, so let's get straight into the video. For this exercise you need studio headphones or really good studio speaker because you're not going to be able to listen to this without them. We're here in FL Studio 21 and I have all those plugins here. None of them are actually enabled, so we're just going to hear the kick and the bass completely without saturation. So let's start first of all with a free plugin, which is Softube's saturation knob. Okay. This is not a paid video, by the way. I'm just doing this for myself and also for you to test, for you what exactly is the best one. So obviously there's different options. We can the saturation type for like the higher frequencies, the neutral frequencies, which is probably more the mid frequencies, and the low frequencies. We're going to do A/B tests, so we're going to try to get the levels right from each saturation tool. So this is the one. I would say this is a bit too much saturated. Okay, this is the first one. By the way, if you haven't checked out the other video where I'm explaining how to mix the kick and the bass properly in your tech house tracks, make sure you check out this video as well. And also a very big news for you guys. I'm going to host very soon a YouTube live where I'm basically listening to your demos. I'm going to give my honest personal feedback to the mixing stage, to the creative process. I'm going to go through the tracks you have. So basically for that, comment below this video that you want to be part of this demo feedback session. And I can host a YouTube live very soon, maybe next week on Sunday. Let's now go to the KHS Distortion. This is again a free plugin. I downloaded it online completely for free. The only disadvantage with this plugin is that you cannot really, there's no gain knob on this plugin, so you basically have to distort the bass or whatever channel you're distorting, and then you have to upload another gain plugin like a Fruity Balance or Fruity Limiter, or if you use an Ableton, other gain plugins. This one, KHS Distortion, sounds really nice, but obviously you have to listen to that. If you're distorting and you're not using a gain plugin, obviously distortion always sounds amazing because it's louder. Saturation makes the sound automatically louder, but just because it's louder doesn't mean that it changes the sound a lot. But to make a good comparison, we're gonna obviously have to load up another balance plugin. The bass is peaking at 14.9. You can hear the saturation makes it sound fatter, but it also increases the peak of that. So we're gonna have to take this gain plugin and put it down a bit. There's not much of a difference, so obviously what I need to do is use more drive. It changes a little bit. I would say it's nice, but I think for me personally that's too much of a hustle to load up the plugin, load up the levels, the peak volume, load up another balance and gain plugin. That's just a hustle, but it's for free, so it's definitely a nice thing. Then the next plugin we're gonna use is the R-Bass. This is also a paid plugin. I think I paid, I don't know, $30 for it or something like that. So we have, again, different options. So this is obviously the intensity of the saturation, and this chooses the frequency which has to be saturated. So it's kind of the saturation knob, just with more control. Also, this plugin doesn't have a specific gain staging thing. Again, also here you need to like load up another gain plugin, which is again a hustle, but I would say the R-Bass stereo has really nice saturation because I usually keep that around 70 or 80 hertz because the lower the frequency is with that saturation, the better it is. But we want more control, and that's exactly why I have the last plugin is called the Decapitator. You probably know this one already. That's like a more costly saturation tool. Together with the saturation knob. You know, the saturation knob has the advantage, it's for free. And I would say those two are my favorite ones with regards to control. So with the saturation knob, if you saturate, you have the option to press the set button, right? So it's just enable this one. You can see already like this orange line shows how much louder the saturation makes the sound, but you just press the button set and it levels out again to exactly what it was before. So that's a really nice thing. It's for free and that makes it really easy. The Decapitator has kind of a similar thing, right? Just I think I personally believe that the Decapitator is like a really nice, it's a really nice saturation tool. Let's listen to the difference. And if you press enable this auto output thing, that basically means the more you saturate, you can see that the output level is changing as well. I would say it's not exactly perfect, right? Let's just listen to a different, let's just turn this off. Minus 10.4, let's just turn it on. So you can see again here that even with this output, with this maximum thing, it is still not the same level, which is, I think, kind of a problem, because obviously saturation always sounds nicer if you make it, if like saturation makes everything louder. So I almost have this thing that it kind of loses the point of making a saturation because it makes it louder, and louder sounds automatically sound better. With the saturation knob itself, you can see, let's just compare it. Without the saturation, the bass is peaking at minus 12.6. With the saturation knob enabled, it is also peaking at 12.6. So the saturation knob is, I would say, the only plugin where this comparison between saturation and then getting the maximum output levels right is the perfect thing, because with the set button it's going to make it. Which is kind of a strange thing, because obviously you pay for the Decapitator the most of the money, but this output thing doesn't get it completely right. Let's now go through all the plugins and enable each single one behind each other, and you're going to hear the difference yourself. Let's start with the Decapitator first. RBass stereo, saturation knob. Each single one of them has a different character, and the last one is the KHS Distortion together with the Fruity Balance. In conclusion, I would say that each single plugin has a little bit of different of a character, but still from the user interface, the Softube saturation knob is the easiest to use because it actually matches the levels right, as I already explained. The Decapitator is amazing because you have more controls. You can use, obviously you can use high pass, low pass filters, you can use a punisher, you have like a lot of presets there as well, which is really cool. But I would say the problem with the Decapitator is that the output level doesn't match together with the saturation, which is again a problem because it's tricking us to say that just because it's saturated, it's louder, it sounds better, but that's not the point of saturation. Saturation adds frequencies, and the point is literally not to make it louder. The point is to add frequencies to make it more fatter, but the peak volume should still stay the same thing. That was the video, guys. Hope you liked it. Make sure to subscribe to this channel, and I'll see you in the next video.